Over the last few sessions, I've shared with you some tips and techniques that help me increase my reading goal from 13 books in 2018 to nearly doubling it to 25 books in 2019. Here's the reason why that goal is so important to me is because I think reading is extremely valuable. In fact, President Harry S. Truman, he says that not all readers are leaders, but all leaders are readers. If you want to be successful, then you need to read, and you need to read a lot. So what I want to do today is that I want to share with you 2 books that I recently read that will help you increase the health of your organization, department, or team through increasing employee engagement. Now, the first book is The Advantage by Patrick Lencioni. Now, I first became acquainted with Lencioni when I read his book, The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team, and I immediately fell in love with it. It is packed with such great leadership principles that I've used it over and over again when I work with other companies. Now, in The Advantage, Lencioni, he kind of goes away from his bread and butter, which is the leadership fable, right? A story with a message on leadership principles. And instead, he gives you a blueprint on how to create a healthy organization. In fact, this book, in a lot of ways, it's a summary of all the other stuff that he's written packed into one place. Now, in the opening chapter, here's what Lencioni says. The single greatest advantage any company has is its organizational health. Did you hear that? Your competitive advantage is the health of your organization. It's the greatest advantage you can have. And then Lencioni goes on to actually describe and define what do we mean by a healthy organization. Here's what he says. An organization has integrity, meaning it's healthy, when it is whole, consistent, and complete. That is, when its management, operations, strategy, and culture fit together and make sense. The rest of the book, it's a step-by-step approach on how to create a healthy organization. So if you want to improve the health of your organization, department, or team, I highly recommend you read this book. Now, in conjunction with The Advantage, I would also encourage you to read John Doerr's book, Measure What Matters. Now, Doerr, he's worked and consulted with the best in the business. Google, the Gates Foundation, right? Bill and Melinda Gates, and then also Bono of YouTube in his One campaign, just to name a few. Now, think about The Advantage. The advantage is like your strategy or your guide to organizational health. It shows you the destination, and this is the road you need to take to get there. And then Measure What Matters, it talks about execution. This is the vehicle that you need to use to get to that place of a healthy organization. In the opening chapter of Measure What Matters, here's what Doerr says. Ideas are easy. Execution is everything. To create engagement, your employees, they must know the win. They need to know what success looks like, but not just at the company level. They need to know what success looks like in their individual roles, right? What do I need to do each day to be successful and productive with my current responsibilities? And here's what happens when you do this. Here's what Doerr says. The single greatest motivator is making progress in one's work. The days that people make progress are the days they feel most motivated and engaged. You see, a company just can't have a nice mission statement and a feel-good culture and be healthy. They have to get things done. And accomplishment and productivity, it's the key to motivating your employees. That's why employee engagement, it's not just an HR function. It has to be a company-wide initiative. So here's today's game plan. I want you to think about your organization, department, or team, and I want you to rank it on a scale of 1 to 10. How healthy is it? 1 being awful, 10 being the most unbelievable thing in the world. Now, as you think about your ranking, here's a couple of questions to consider. First off, does your management, operations, strategy, and culture, do they fit together, right? Are they unified? Do they just work? And then 2, do you execute? Do you accomplish big things? After you rank it, I want you to think through what is the number one thing that's hindering your culture or organizational health? Is it a strategy issue? Meaning you don't know the path you need to take to get there? or you don't know what organizational health or culture looks like? Or is it an execution issue? You know what you need to do to get there. You're just not accomplishing it. That, by the way, is the first step to increasing your organizational health. And then finally, I want you to internalize it. What can you do? Not anybody else. It's so easy to blame other people. What can you do today to be an agent of change in your organization, department, or team? And if you would like help in assessing your organizational health, man, send me a message. I'd love to chat with you more about how we at the Shawn Welch Company can help you increase your organizational culture by increasing employee engagement. That's our passion, and I'd love to talk to you more about that. All right, let me leave you with our treatable lesson. If people don't weigh in, they can't buy in.